What's up? Six Sensei here, and right now I do want to break down the Titanfall gameplay for you guys. I think this game can be the game in between the two Call of Duties, because you know we all get fatigued about springtime with Call of Duty. We want to take breaks, we want to do other things that are fun, Battlefield and things like that. So, and this is the game that's coming out spring 2014. The first thing I want to point out is waiting for players at the top of your screen, and in another thing in a second, but, you know... This game is going to fill that void, I think. It's coming out spring 2014. We all know that Call of Duty Ghosts is coming out this year, 2013 November. So, that's going to be right in that perfect sweet spot to gain some ground. Now, you look at the countdown, 10. That's only something you see in a multiplayer setting. The reason I'm bringing this up is because the multiplayer setting is what I think this game is built upon. I think maybe, it's a single player setup that we're in here, but it's all AI and it's still in a multiplayer setting. So here we go. We're jumping into the multiplayer. The first thing we're doing is we're getting set up for battle. We're playing hardpoint, but right out of the gate, you'll notice that in this game, we're building our Titan. This is interesting because in an interview with Vince Zampella, everybody gets a Titan. It's what you do in the game that determines when you get your Titan. So, you do better in the game, you play the objective, you get kills. That's going to allow you to get your Titan sooner. It's going to reduce the timer. So everybody gets a kill streak, let's call it, since we're Call of Duty people. But, how soon you get it is another important thing. As you already noticed, you can't miss it. There's a double jump type of situation happening in this game. And right now, she said your Titan's ready in 60 seconds. What he's going to do here in a second is going to reduce that timer just a little bit. And he's going to do something else that reduces the timer. So it just went from 51 to 21. Let's take another look at that. So as you'll notice, he's sitting at 52 seconds at the bottom left. And after he kills that guy, it goes down to 21 seconds. So it shaved 30 seconds off his timer. So now you see some more of the double jumping. His Titan's going to be ready very, very soon. But here you see he pulls out a weapon. The Sidewinder ATR, or however you say it. But what I want to take another look at is how fast that happens. Here you can see at the bottom of the camera on screen the gun is there. And almost instantly the gun switches. And it's an automatic rocket launcher. It doesn't look like they're doing much homing. But what's important about that, and obviously you see some free run and stuff like that, it's really, really cool, really fast-paced, really interesting. But it doesn't look like they're homing missiles. And he just killed the Titan, 500 points. And look at this, how fast people go down. It's fast-paced gameplay that makes Call of Duty what it is today. And it's what's really important about this game, what really sets this aside for me and makes me think, this may be what we've been, looking for, kind of that supplement first-person shooter to Call of Duty is something else. Now, his Titan's ready to go, but look how fast he's dropping these enemies. And, I mean, it's just like Call of Duty, those 4 to 5 bullets. He gets shot in the back. Now, look, the guy gets taken out via, he rang his neck or whatever. So there's something else. He's getting ready here, but he's going to call in his Titan in just a second. And I want to call something out that he's talking about. He calls his Titan in outside, but listen.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Stand by for Titanfall. Boom, it comes in on the ground nice and epic. And then you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, Titanfall, and he has its own health bar. Or you can embark on it when you press the X button. You can get in there, and you can control it yourself, as we all know. And that looks like a hell of a lot of fun. But obviously, if it's following you, if it has a Titanfall situation, you're going to have the opportunity to have it kind of just follow you around and do its own thing while you do your own thing, kind of like an escort drone in Call of Duty, something like that. Here's the Titan arc cannon. I don't know what this does. It just looks pretty cool. I don't even know what he just killed. Maybe an enemy who was leaping in much like we just did. So right there you'll notice he used a gun. He used a weapon in his left hand that stopped the bullets. And you'll notice later on that doesn't work every time. It just doesn't use everything. Here he runs over an enemy. I want to point that out. That's pretty cool. It looks like he's got an M60 in his hand as well. Now he's gonna jump out. He's ejecting, pressing up on the D-pad. Now he sets his Titan to a guard. Look at the bottom left. You can see it. I don't have to stop it or point that out. The health is down to 53%, and now it's guarding an area. So it's guarding outside. You can come inside and do your own thing, and it's going to guard that area for you, and you can keep track. There's a little C4 moment there, and there's nothing to break down with that, really. Just wanted to point it out. But you can really see how it's got its own health. It's doing its own thing. You can kind of control it and make sure you do your thing. You jump back in it. It picks you up. You get back in it. Get back to the bigger battle, which is Titan versus Titan. So it's kind of like two battlefields going on. You got your Titans and you got your big guys, and everybody's got their stuff. See, that bullet reverse thing didn't work that time because there was no bullets in his direct vicinity. So now it's time to eject. And you'll notice emergency eject. So you fly up in the air. And it looks like he has a little bit of control. He wants to land on this guy, and he does. That is awesome. So you can land on the Titan. This looks like an animation that's probably automatically going to happen. And it doesn't look like it did a whole ton of damage because they still have to take him out a little bit. Now my cell phone goes off at the perfect time. That's Titanfall, guys. I really think this game is going to be awesome. It's made by the guys who created Call of Duty that we know of today, by Respawn Entertainment. But Vince Zampella and several of the guys from, there's Vince right there. Most of the guys from original Infinity Ward, the guys who made COD 4, the guys who made Modern Warfare 2, the guys who made Call of Duty what it is today, they're making this game. I mean, these are the guys that came up with the control scheme that we're still using. These are the guys who are responsible for the kill streaks, the customizable loadouts, all of these things, the fluid gameplay, all of these things that make Call of Duty what it is today. Activision kind of screwed these guys over, and so they went out and they worked with EA and they make this game. And as far as I know, it's exclusive to the Xbox One. And I think it's going to be that perfect, fast-paced, first-person shooter that's just different enough to exist in the same realm as Call of Duty for a Call of Duty player, right? You got your Battlefield and you got your Call of Duty guys. I really think this game is going to appeal more to Call of Duty people, but I also think that this game is going to appeal to everybody, right? I think it's going to be awesome. So anyway, guys, I don't want to drag this on too much longer than it has to be. But I really have a lot of faith in this game, and I really think this game could be something amazing. From a personal standpoint, just looking at that gameplay right there, I mean, it just looks like fun. It looks entertaining, top to bottom, and fast-paced. That's what we want, baby. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. If you're interested, or if you're just buying a PlayStation 4, you don't give a shit about Titanfall, I can understand that due to the price point of the PlayStation 4. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Six Sensei, and I'm out. Peace.